Okay, hello. So we are going to focus on still reading strategies to create equations. Okay, so right here, and inequalities, but right now we're focused on equations. So in your notes, make sure you title your notes as what it says here as Unit 3, Lesson 3. Creating equations like so. Okay, and then you make your side notes and key points and so on. This is one of the examples that we weren't able to get to in class, so we are taking the chance to do that now. So here we have a scenario. We say we have a football team scored 3 touchdowns, 3 extra points, and 4 field goals. Right. So if we were to do our problem solving thinking guide, then we can think about the story, such as the story is about a football team, right? So we just have a football team, and they are scoring points. Okay, so notice that at this point, like I don't have my chart, but at least I'm still like thinking about it, and I'm still thinking like, what are my units? What are my, how do the units relate to each other? Are there any additional questions, right? So they scored 3 touchdowns, 3 extra points, and 4 field goals. Okay, so I know that these are all 1, 2, 3 different things. Okay, and so right here, it's the next question is telling us write an expression, right? So remember, expression has numbers and variables, and or variables. So we want to represent, let's see, I want to represent the total points the football team scored. Okay, so I know that when my expression has to represent the total points. So what I can do is I can, in this case, they scored 3 touchdowns, 3 extra points, and 4 field goals. Okay, so so a question here, maybe on the side, I can have questions that say, so perhaps one of the questions, I'm just like, oh, well, touchdowns, 3 extra points, field goals, how much are these? I can say like maybe plays. How much are these plays worth? In other words, how many points are they? How many points are they? Sorry if you hear cats in the background. They are lovely. Okay, so right here, a football team scored 3 touchdowns, 3 extra points, and 4 field goals. Okay, so we have, we don't know how many points those touchdowns are, and we don't know how many extra points. Well, extra points could vary. And so, and then we also have field goals. Those points could vary too. So right here, what we can say is that we can have T. We can have, each of these are different, so we can represent T as touchdowns. T as touchdowns. And then we can say P as extra points. And then we can say, we can call this G as field goals. Okay. And we could pick any variable. I just happen to pick this because T for touchdowns, P for points, and then G for goals. Okay, but you could have picked F or E, however you wanted. But okay, so then we have our three different quantities categories more like. We have three different categories. So the way we can write this, if we want to write an expression, then we can say 3t. We're writing an expression to represent the total points. So we have 3t plus 3p plus 4g. Okay, so essentially what I'm saying is basically the expression could represent all of these here. Okay. So this represents the total points that the team scored. So then what we can do is then go down here to the next question. It says if each touchdown is worth 6 points, okay, each extra point is 1 point, and then the field goal is 3 points. How many total points did the team score? Okay, so then in this case, we know the value for this. It's just 3 touchdowns. It's just a general quantity, whereas here we can actually see the specifics, right? So we have 6 points for each touchdown, and then each extra point is 1 point, and then each field goal is 3 points. So how many total points did they score? Well, what we can do is, if I know that this is my expression, 3t plus 3p plus 4g is supposed to represent the total points, then I just substitute what each of those, how much those points are worth in here. So I'm going to use a different color. So I can say 3, I'm going to leave parentheses. So what I can write in here is for each touchdown, it's worth 6 points. So I can write 6. And then here, each extra point is 1 point. So we can say 1. And then here, each field goal is worth 3 points. So I have 3. So how many total points do I have? Well, 6 times 3 is 18. Plus 3 times 1 is just 3. And then 4 times 3 is 12. Okay, so then we simplify further, and 18 plus 3 is 21. Plus 12, we add those together, we should get 33. Okay, so we can say that the total points the team scored is 33. Okay. Oops. Sorry, my pencil's kind of weird. Alrighty. So that's all I wanted you to realize here, and recognize that we can have expressions not only with 2 variables, but with multiple variables. And how we determine which ones represent those variables depends on how many different categories we are comparing, and so on. Okay, so make sure that you write your summary here, or any questions that you have, and go from there. Alrighty, bye-bye.